Good morning, everyone. Welcome to an Ageless Energy show. I'm excited to jump in and talk about summertime fun. Many times we are looking to, how can we say, beach bodies, bikini bodies. And I feel like there's not a whole lot of substance there. So, my goal for today is
Good morning, everyone. Welcome
it's
to
me making sure I'm in the right place. I want to, good morning, Sarah. I want to make sure there's more substance when we're talking about summertime fun because summertime should be a time of enjoyable time. Like it's a season, right? I often talk about seasons with our members and clients, but this is a different season weather wise. And there's a lot of time, like a lot of fun, a lot of sunshine, lakes, beaches, travel. But this could be a detrimental time to your health, from hormone imbalancing to continual or increased gut issues. There's confidence, of course. You want to fit in the clothes that you're hoping to fit in. There's endless concerns. Good morning, Cheryl. When we're talking about summertime fun and making sure that you're staying on track and doing the right things and still enjoying yourself. So I want to talk about that today, and hopefully this will give you an idea of what you can do throughout the summer to help improve your health in general. If you're not sure who I am, my name is Drew Tadia, founder and CEO of True Form Life. For the past 20 years, we've been helping women 40 plus increase energy, burn body fat, and balance hormones. So I'd imagine you wouldn't be here if that wasn't you, at least in some part. So I just want to let you know you're in good hands. Been doing this for a long time, and I can certainly offer some suggestions over the summertime. I'm gonna pull up my notes here, and I have right here, summertime stampede fun. We're in Calgary, and some of you may be, and we recently moved back here, but I grew up here in Calgary, and the stampede was a crazy time. It was like a full-on party, and we now live just outside of Calgary, so we can see the train station, and we can see the buses, and we can see the lineups of people piling in to the clubs downtown. And I got to tell you, on a personal note, maybe it's been a few years now, but at least short term, I have zero FOMO. And so if you grew up in the city, most people that grew up in the city don't particularly enjoy the Stampede. I think there's a smaller percentage that still like to party and drop it like it's hot, which is fine. I have zero judgment. That's why I wanted to jump on here and do this live to offer some suggestions for you to have your cake and eat it too. Have your Stampede and party too. But we partied hard in high school, and then um, maybe into university. I was gone, but I would come back in the summer times, and but it is absolute chaos. And then you have in like the huge influx of population, and they have the increase in prices and the inflation of like the stampede inflation of beers and tents. It's crazy. It's probably still going on. I haven't really got into it yet this year. It just started, but my friends grew up in the like in the corporate world, and they would take days off. They just wouldn't go to work, and I don't even think they were expected to. For like midweek, I don't think most people are working today. This office right now this is a shared office space, so there's a number of different businesses in here, and there's not a soul in here. It's like the world stops around Calgary when the Stampede is here. Okay, but then there's a certain people that are watching this, and they're like, "Oh, I'm not doing Calgary Stampede." That doesn't matter. There's still a lot of rodeos going on outside in smaller towns. There's going to be alcoholic beverages. There's going to be drinks. There's going to be appetizers. Summertime fun. It's um it's all here. So it doesn't matter if it's the Stampede or a rodeo or you're traveling to a beach. It's definitely going to be something that we should get ahead of and pay attention to early on. If you guys have questions or comments, let me know. I'm going live. I am live right now, but oops. Okay, I'm going to dive in. So What is that? Facebook is kind of crazy, isn't it? They have all these new things happening. Okay, let's keep things rolling. So part one. So this is my first tip: is summertime can wreck your hormone imbalance, and let me explain how that happens. So dehydration, because of heat and lack of water, including less sleep. So the sun's out longer. We're spending time visiting with family more often. We usually have less sleep at this time. This often, so dehydration from hot weather, like or spending too much time. Like I'm a big fan of being outside as often as possible, but if it's 30 degrees or Fahrenheit or 95 degrees Celsius, we spend a lot of time in LA in the summertime, and we wouldn't be outside from noon to 3. Like it just didn't make sense. It was super hot, and we don't particularly enjoy sunscreen. For a different topic, we don't wear sunscreen. We wear like clothing. At any rate, these types of summertime concerns can increase or spike your cortisol levels. So that's number one. That will immediately imbalance your hormones right from the jump. So you don't even have to do much. You just summertime. These are things that are happening. Okay. So then now we have more alcohol and we have more sugar. So what happens here with more alcohol is like your body doesn't really love to digest or process alcohol, right? That's why there's so many people with liver failure, fatty liver, etc. So you have a liver overload from increased alcohol, and then you have a gut stress from more processed food, refined sugar, those types of things. That's certainly not helping your situation. There's social eating or social gathering I mentioned. We're hanging out with neighbors, friends, family, visiting. There's like kids are out of school, so we're visiting lakes, possible beaches, and these increase blood sugar levels, decrease, increase. It's like a roller coaster, right? Which isn't good for you for many different reasons. We have a whole show on blood sugar, regulating your blood sugar levels if you want. So comment below if you want us to hand that to you. So understand if you did I say hand that to you? If you want us to send that to you. So understand that there's nothing wrong with you in particular. This is the time. It's the most challenging time of year. We tried to prep our members. We try to let them know that this is a really challenging time of year. So if you're not sure who our members are, if you're newer here listening, we have a supplement side of our business and we have a coaching side of our business that was intertwined, but you can use them interchangeably. So you don't have to use our supplements to join our coaching program, and some of our customers use our supplements and they're not involved in our coaching program. So when I'm talking about our MAT members, our Metabolism Accelerator program members, is that we're trying to prep them for the summer and let them know this is a challenging time. It's a different season in life. Make sure you do the best you can to stay on track, but there's going to be many temptations and many challenges, and these are the things that we can do to help you get through the summertime and then into September. Mid-August, end of September, things change a little bit. We go back, different season. We go back to work regularly. The days are getting shorter. Kids are going back to school. Like everything changes a bit. The problem here is that it's really hard to watch this happen because I know it's a disaster right in front of my eyes. Is we slowly stop doing the things that are working. We slowly stop to follow a meal plan or meal prep or get our workouts in, and then you gain 10 pounds over the summertime, and here we are in September kind of starting all over, which is what I'm hoping you guys won't do. I'm hoping that all of you, whether you're working with us one-on-one or not, is to help you stay on track on a regular basis. If you're looking at hydration in particular, you could look at a natural electrolyte like coconut water with 0 sugar in it. That's fantastic, like no added sugar. That's a great way to stay hydrated. Drinking enough water, like at least I would say 3 liters, depending on your situation and what other liquids that you're drinking. Liquid magnesium is fantastic. So magnesium is an electrolyte, but we have potassium in there as electrolyte. So that's another way for you to stay hydrated. And you can find all of our products at trueformlife.com. So that's another way for you to continue to stay on track and stay away from the cortisol spike that we see from dehydration. And then we have activated charcoal. So if you're going to be spending time barbecuing, camping, even going to the beach, like, you should protect your digestion by using activated charcoal. It's fantastic to help detox from alcoholic beverages, for example, refined sugar, processed food. Everyone should be having activated charcoal on a regular basis, in my opinion. Okay, so let's look at cooling versus heating foods. This is something that more on the Ayurvedic type of, I don't want to say medicine, more lifestyle. So cooling types of foods are cucumbers, berries, mint, greens, chia seeds. Like, these are smoothies. You could look at salads, like, so you could look at like we used to do like soups and our smoothies, salads and smoothies workshop at this time of year to just give you different ideas. And we have a number of different recipes to help you stay on track with you can have a big, used to call it a monster salad. So you have all your macros in one salad, and it's delicious and it's filling and it's everything that you need in a meal, and it's cooling. So you can eat for different seasons and different times of your life. So depending on if you're in a maintenance stage, if you're in a weight loss stage, if you're trying to push or trying to recover, you can eat differently, and you probably should. But so you have your cooling foods, which would be your smoothies and salads, for example. You have your heating foods, which are alcohol, spicy foods, caffeine, even fried foods. So you want to make oversimplification is that you want to have more cooling foods than heating foods, and especially during a hot season. Now, it sounds a little contradicting, but when we were in Sri Lanka, and it was super hot, and they had spicy foods, and they also served warm water. Or they actually served I think it was hot water, but this is good for your digestion. A lot of times people we're working on a full digestion challenge. So if you're interested in joining our digestion challenge, comment below. This is particularly to help with the mental belly. But you want to avoid ice water when it's hot out, because your body, that's not jiving with your body. Body's not like, maybe your taste buds, or you feel like it makes you cooler, but it doesn't particularly make your body cooler drinking cold water. And that's not particularly good for your digestion. So we have a lot going on there. I'm just seeing if there's any comments. If you guys have any questions or comments, just drop them below, and I'll just have to keep refreshing to see if anything pops up. Okay. So we had a few people. Nadine's in here. I know I saw Cheryl's in here. So if you're going to have smoothies, for example, I would suggest a good quality protein supplement. So we have our True Farms vanilla protein. All the ingredients are organic, fermented, and or sprouted. We have digestive enzymes in there. There's no chalky aftertaste. This is a nice additive to your smoothie, which is cooling. You have an added boost of protein, and that's a great way to start your day. Or if you're having it's a good to add to your shake, for example, first thing in the morning, or add to a smoothie. So you have all of your macronutrients. Okay. And then you could also look at a quality MCT oil, which is also cooling. So it's clean energy. It doesn't heat your system. It's this one, our MCT oil is C8, which is caprylic acid. That's the MCT oil that you're looking for, that has all the health benefits that everyone mentioned. This is just a brief overview, by the way. We have a whole show on MCT oil, for example, or quality proteins. If you want any of those more details or deep dive into those, just comment below and we'll send it over. But MCT oil can be added to your salad, for example, both cooling. So this is great to pair this up. We do, like, if you're one of our members, don't overthink this. We're doing this for you as we provide meal plans, grocery shopping lists, and recipes. This is what we do. If you're doing this on your own, this is more for you to help you figure out, or help you understand that there's different ways that you can improve your health over the summertime. And cooling foods is a big one in particular. And again, MCT oil with your salad, for example, in tea, in coffee, which would be heating, but I'm not going to tell you not to drink any coffee. So let's move along to summertime fitness. So we see at times overtraining in the summertime, and that's usually based around cardio. Like it's nice nice outside. I'm not saying don't do any cardio, and I'm not saying don't do any like don't go for long bike rides, or I'm not saying any of that or long runs. I'm just saying that if you're overtraining, see what happens is often we'll see people increase their training but not increase their nutritional density, for example, or their calorie intake for their body type, for their workouts. Like for our mat members, we match up the calories that they need to their body weight. Now, if you're exercising more and you're doing longer runs or longer bike rides because it's warmer out, for example, or there's longer days, then you would add more nutrients, which sounds counterintuitive. People are like, oh, I don't want to run more and have to eat more. But you need to continue to fuel your body and offer the nutrients that you need. So that's why we see overtraining and under nutritionizing. So if you're going to do more training, you have to add more quality foods. There's things that you can do like to help with that. Like for example, you can have creatine first thing, that first like before your workout. That's a great way to I would say energize your workout. Creatine helps the lactic acid delay, I suppose, for you to be able to get more reps in or longer runs before that burning sensation in your muscles, which is the lactic acid buildup, starts to happen. So you can actually work out longer and harder by using a supplement like creatine. So that's something that you can help with, like for when I'm talking about under nutritionizing and overtraining. Like you want to have something right after your workout. So if you're having a shake before your workout and creatine, for example, that's a great little pre-workout stack. Maybe you have maca in there, maybe you have MCT oil in there, and on the back end you want to refuel as quickly as possible. So I would suggest a scoop or two of we have a really nice organic collagen. So that's one scoop is 11 grams of protein. So you put 1 to 2 scoops in there, you have 22 grams of very digestible, clean protein to help build back your muscles. So if you're not sure, collagen is great for digestion in particular, build that stomach lining. It's great for bone mass, muscles, tendons. So it will help build you back stronger as you break it down and putting a certain amount of stress on your body. So collagen could be considered a post-workout protein to help you fuel afterwards. Just an idea. There's a dozen different things that we can talk about for post-workout, but that's just a quick idea. So creating a summertime routine is super important. This is my last tip, then I'll let you go. But so if you're like if in the morning, for example, you have movement, hydration, protein. I would suggest for hydration, you have your liquid magnesium in the morning. That was my suggestion. Some type of movement. If you're not going to work out, I would suggest working out first thing. That's the best. You're going to get the best bang for your buck. That's going to motivate your day. You're going to feel accomplished. You're not going to be thinking about it all day long. Your body's going to move better. You'll be energized to work out first thing in the morning. If that's not possible, or if you're just not doing that's not your thing in your life, I would try to get out and move as often as possible. So take the dog for a walk, or go for a walk around the block, or do a 10-minute stretching breathing session, something to move your body. And then hydration through electrolytes like liquid magnesium. And then I would prioritize protein first thing as well, because most times we prioritize carbs first thing. So if you're prioritizing protein with a shake, for example, it's a no-brainer. I feel like it seems more complicated than as you get up, you stretch or work out, and you have your liquid magnesium and your shake, and then that's your day. I would guess 80% of the population doesn't set their day up for success in that simple manner with a few simple steps. Midday would be a cooling meal. So let's say it's a lunch. I'd say midday is let's say 1 p.m. So you have your lunch, and that's a cooling salad, for example. And I already talked about that at the beginning. So that would be your lunch. And then you'd have, I would suggest like a Mag10, which is our magnesium threonate, which is a really nice mental clarity, energy, fueling. It's all as a relaxant. It's hard to explain that, but I will talk about that. I've talked about that many times in the past. I'm going to skip that, but I would suggest, so we take liquid magnesium in the morning and magnesium threonate in the afternoon, more for mental clarity. Also, like your magnesium is a relaxant, so we're like all stressed out from the morning and for much of the day, and we've got a lot of day left. So I like Mag10 um, early afternoon. So in the evening, most people have a huge giant meal. If you're having smaller meals, then you don't need this giant meal. But I would have a lighter meal in the evening, especially because it's hot out, knowing that you may have a snack before bedtime, like a cottage cheese, for example. That's a whey casein, and it's a slower digesting protein. So that's why it's good in the evening. If you're not a cottage cheese fan, you can try something like Greek yogurt. But that's something that can help support your digestive system and prevent all the digestive chaos that you could be going through because of the food that you're putting in your body. At the end of the day, you have your activated charcoal away from medication, away from other supplements, probably right before bed, half hour before bed would be my suggestion. And that's it. Like that's how you can set up your day, depending on what you're doing. Like depending on if you're partying at the Stampede or a rodeo or a friend gathering, you have to do your best to try to stick to your routines. We're gonna put 30% off charcoal for this week, for the Stampede week. So if you want that promo code, comment below, we'll send that over. And I did mention that if you are watching live, or if you're watching the replay as well, we have a kind of a travel survival guide. It's a PDF. It's almost like a mini book. I think it's 30 pages. But if you want that, comment below and we'll send that over. Hopefully that'll help you give you some ideas to stay on track. But otherwise, I hope you guys have a wonderful day, a wonderful weekend. We are heading to the Calgary Stampede, so that's going to be enjoyable for us, and more so for our little guy. He likes to see all the commotion and the dancing and the music, so it'll be fun. I'm looking forward to it, and I hope you guys have a great weekend. Thanks for joining, and we'll see you soon. Bye, everyone.